Welcome to Just Relationships, the show that offers you concrete ways to make your relationships better. Whether it's your boss, your spouse, your children, or your friends, the quality of your relationships in life directly affects how you feel about yourself and the success you achieve. Your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer, a psychotherapist, telecoach, author, and seminar leader, will interview top experts to help you learn to manage this essential part of your life. And now, here's your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer.
Greetings to you. Do you find that most people just don't give a damn? They seem to be rude and uncaring and not at all, fancy word, relational. And here I am hosting a radio show called Just Relationships for decades already. And I'm so big on being relational, and that's why I invited Mark Lewis back for a second show. The name of his book is Give a Damn, The Ticket to Cultural Change. And I heard you say, Mark, off air, and you actually said it last week too in the show, the idea of creating a brand so that it becomes a simple slogan. And you have the red rubber bracelets. They're beautiful with Give a Damn on them. And it's kind of like a constant reminder, isn't it?
You know, it's difficult because as human beings, we need to continue to be reminded of different things because we can forget, and we need to form a habit. And the Give a Damn habit for me, and the reminder, is that bracelet. Now I have stickers and things that come up and saying, hey, what have you done to give a damn today? What little thing have you done to make a difference in other people's lives? And first of all, I want to commend you because with your just relationship and what you're doing to help get this message across and improve people's lives and the relationships is so critical to what we need to do in today's society. So for that, I thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. So we left off with the terrible story you told about Will Smith being shot to death because he and his teammate from the New Orleans Saints would not back down. And so that's it. He was shot to death, and it was around ego, you were saying.
Yeah, and the ego today, in terms of where people get it wrong, is that I have to be better than somebody, and I have to prove my worth. And by doing that, I have to be better someone. So I'm going to do everything I can to tell and let people know that I'm better than them. And therefore, I'll go to extremes to exploit that. And by doing that, it makes me feel like I'm worthy. And that's a problem because people today can't say, I'm sorry, or what I did was wrong. I take responsibility. That's the hardest thing for people to do these days, is to admit when they're wrong and take responsibility for what they did and turn around and make it right. Yeah. That's what causes violence, in my opinion. And of course, I've got statistics in my book that kind of back that up, that violence is spurred by ego, lack of self-worthiness, to prove somebody or to the society that I'm worthy.
Got it. So what we're really talking about here is the idea of if someone admits they're wrong, it puts them in a one-down situation, in a one-down relationship. And you know, Mark Lewis, I think that is based upon such a fallacy, such a false belief. And I think it's indelible, not indelible, but it is imprinted so much in our society, and it's called the myth of infallibility. That people really believe that they cannot be fallible, that they, in order to receive and be worthy of love and be worthy in general, is to be infallible. That is, I think, boils down to one of the most dangerous beliefs that we can have. Because when we have that belief, we act out the way the way Will Smith and his teammate acted out.
You're right. And again, the hardest thing for any human being to admit is when they're wrong.
Right.
And because we're always trying to justify everything that we did as being right, or it's been okay that I did wrong because this happened, or whatever the circumstances caused me to act that way. And that's so hard. Now, how do we get around that? How do we teach people that it's okay to admit when you're wrong and take responsibility? Well, most people know what's right, and you need to understand by the slogan, give a damn, to do the right thing always. By doing so, it's the right thing to do, and don't justify what you did wrong through your actions to make it right. That's so hard. But you got to continue to think that way. You got to make sure your thought process is in place and to think of, like I said previously, we need to step back, take a deep breath, and understand what our thinking is, and have it in my mind, we need to do the right thing.
So tell us more what the idea of taking actions to make things right, Mark.
Well, I list a lot of things in my book about how to do things simply to get started. For instance, I make an analogy in my book that says most people, when, let's say you're walking across the street and you kick a rusty nail, most people wouldn't pick that up. But if the rusty nail was in the middle of your driveway, what would you do? You would pick it up, because now you can internalize something that would affect you, and therefore you do something about it.
Right.
When we internalize something, we give a damn about our friends, our family, but when we get outside our own domain, when it comes to other people, we need to start thinking differently that what we can do to help other people. Now, for instance, it's hard because family is important, but if you can get outside a little bit and start thinking about what effect your actions or inactions would have on other people, then you can start making a difference and taking these little steps at a time that improves your life, but also improves the lives of others.
Beautiful. I love it. That is such a great example, Mark. So we can actually imagine the whole world is our driveway.
You know, we can imagine the world of the rusty nail, and everything that you do is, will I pick up the rusty nail? And I make that analogy a lot. Think about the rusty nail and what you would do and how you would internalize this. And there's another, a perfect example of this is in my book. I have I make reference to a video I saw about this older gentleman coming out of a discount store. He was walking across the street and got hit by a car. He tumbled over and landed in the middle of the road, but nobody came to help him out. The car that hit him went by him. Another car came up and went around him. Another car came up. And I'm going, why isn't anybody helping this person out? And after 90 seconds, somebody kind of went to his aid. But if you were driving your car and you came up to that old man and he was your grandfather, what would you do? You would get out of your car, because now you can internalize something. You'd want to help that person. That's the thought process that we need to take.
Yes.
In terms of how we act towards others. And that's a hard thing to do.
So to think of ourselves as members of the human family.
Exactly. Think of yourself as a member of a herd, because a herd mentality causes us to do things, and until you step outside that herd mentality and one person starts going outside of what the mentality of the herd would be, then the herd joins in. That's the mentality that we have to step outside the box, this herd mentality. Because in that situation with the old man, it wasn't in a very good neighborhood. They were kind of scared, but someone finally stepped out, and then they all stepped out. Get outside that herd mentality, take that step, take that leap of faith, and everybody wins.
Yes, yes. So the difference of the herd versus the family. So after I said human family, I thought immediately of the animal family and the tree family and the earth family, that we are all so connected. And it's so interesting because as a psychotherapist, I have any number of patients who will tell me that they literally love their animals more than human beings, because animals give unconditional love, and they have been so hurt by human beings.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because I make reference about dogs in my book that says when you come home, dogs are so happy to see you. They're wagging their tails. They want to love you. They want to do the kind of things that make you happy. And it doesn't matter what you do to them. They're always coming back and loving you in a sense. So my statement would be this: let me be the person my dog thinks I am. And that will help you, I think, drive into being a better person. Let me be the person my dog thinks I am. Because your dog thinks you're the greatest human being in the world. They love you. We can be that same way to other people.
I love it. That's really good. That's really good. Yes, our pets look to us, and we are their source of food, of life, and there is that connection. But interestingly enough, it's not only the food connection. That it was once believed that infants and babies and toddlers loved their mothers because their mothers gave them food. And then Harry Harlow made a very famous experiment with rhesus monkeys where he separated out the food from the form of a mother. He took the infant rhesus monkeys away from their mothers and had one wire form of a monkey with a milk bottle attached to it, and another was a cloth form of a monkey with no food attached to it. And the infant stayed on the wire mother just long enough to drink the bottle, and then spent the other 23 and a half hours clinging to the cloth mother. Right. So, yeah.
There was another study, and this was, I heard, and I remember this because you helped jog my thinking process. There was a study done about babies, and they took a bunch of babies, and one section of babies, they showered them love and affection, and then they took the other babies and gave them no love and affection, and they monitored the two. And what happened was, some of the kids that didn't get any love or affection actually passed away, so they had to stop the study.
Right. Because
the study showed that love and affection gives people a sense of purpose, that they're cared for, that they're loved. And, everybody in this world wants to be loved, and everybody, I think, a lot of people want to give love. So if you give love and they receive it because they want it, they feel better. They have a sense of purpose. When you think about all these mass shootings and these people that are going out and killing people, it's such a sad thing. But my thought process on this, and I think it's because these are loners. They don't have any sense of purpose. Nobody's showering them love. Nobody's appreciating for what they do. They're playing video games, so they get all this sense of destruction, and therefore they create their sense of purpose. Okay, I'm going to do something very badly because at least somebody will remember me for something. And that's the sad part. I think all these shootings could be stopped if we just cared for somebody. And it begins in the family, right? It all starts in family. So I think we could do this if we just felt kindness, respectful, gratitude, all these things that make people happy needs to change. And that's the culture that I'm trying to create, because this culture maybe 50 years ago, where there were people in the family, the mom and dad was home, there was better interaction within the family. We used to go out and play softball. We used to go kick the can. You never see that anymore. They're playing video games. So that human interaction is less today than it was 40 or 50 years ago. And we've got to get back to that.
Yes. I'm just remembering when you say kick the can, we spent Christmas Eve with our son and daughter-in-law and grandchildren, and gave them lots of presents. And afterwards, after they opened up all the presents, my grandson took a water bottle and started to play the game of flipping it on its to stand up.
Yes.
And this is good. This is really, really good. And this is so simple and so basic. And why can't we do more of that? And as you say, just interact more, interact simply. And I do think that is so true, that the profile of all these mass shooters is that they are loners. They are disconnected. They are often involuntarily celibate, and they don't, no woman seems to want them. And I say that because most of them are males, and where they don't feel wanted by any member of humanity. So start young and make that connection. And by the way, I don't know of that particular experiment. I don't know of any infants purposely not having love and affection. The one that is very similar to that I'm familiar with was done by Rene Spitz. And basically what he did was study infants in a foundling home, in a Mexican foundling home where the temperature wasn't right and it was hot and the food wasn't perfect and this and that, but they were constantly held and cuddled, versus infants in a New York hospital, orphans, for some reason, that were treated in perfect temperature and perfect food, but they were barely held, only enough to do the basic necessities of living. And those babies were dying, as you're describing. And they named the disease marasmus, which comes from the Greek wasting away. So, yes. So but it's the same point, that we need love like we need oxygen, like we need food, air. And many people don't get it.
Yeah. So you bring up a really good point. And the point indirectly is, where do we create a foundation at an early age, and how to, what I call, give a damn, right? Because I don't think there's not nearly enough attention or focus on morals, respect, gratitude, responsibility in our schools, at our home. Now, my wife's an educator. She goes, "Oh, we're teaching this in school." I said, "Well, yeah, you're teaching it usually when they're teenagers, but we need to start at a very early age." And so one of my goals is to create a program called Give a Hoot, to help put together an education system that is based on morals and not so much focusing on English and math, because segregation in our society are primary contributors here, and it's all based on, when we were growing up, we had Captain Kangaroo, we had Father's Knows Best, Brady Bunch, but what you see on TV today is horrible. What they're teaching, the pop culture, which reinforces that selfishness, and you see these programs called Naked and Afraid and the Kardashians, and the morals they teach are awful. And so how do we change this? I think we change it by having every year a subject on morals, gratitude, responsibility, so kids get it starting in kindergarten. That's my next initiative. Teaching this at an early age so they can learn it early, and they'll be better off as a societal member as they grow older.
Yes. And the word morals, I'm just wondering what you think about the word ethics. When I hear morals, I unfortunately I have a connotation of you should obey, you should follow these rules, and I do believe in teaching children manners, absolutely, and just literally following rules even before they understand why. But just as you say, to get in the habit of saying please and thank you, and, excuse me, so the cultivation of ethics, of principles around caring for others and moving beyond your own self-interest. Do you get the sense of what I mean by the word morals?
You're actually spot on. That's exactly what I mean. Morals, I think, focuses on the manners and the etiquettes, the responsibilities, the accountability, that kind of thing. So, but no, you're spot on. I agree with you 150%.
Yes, and it's an interesting combination of words: morals, gratitude, responsibility, and there is really a connection. And in your 3 parts, you move into, say, give a damn. Giving a damn starts at home. Give a damn at school. Give a damn on teams. Give a damn in management. Give a damn in customer service. Give a damn in your community. Give a damn in government. So you really start from the inside out, Mark.
Yeah, you're right about that. And one of the other thoughts I had is, you know, we have that those books for dummies, right?
Yes.
They go, my goal maybe is to write a specific book for give a damn for lawyers, or give a damn for government, give a damn for customer service, give a damn for teams. All that kind of stuff is kind of like the chicken soup books too.
Oh, yes.
That came out. You know, I have this whole vision, right? So I'm 60. I'll be almost 63 in March, late March. And so my whole emphasis is to try to put all this together over the next 20 to 30 years so I can make a difference in what I'm doing.
Yes, and I like the idea of codifying it as a program. And, of course, those red bracelets, give a damn. And you talk about that you believe there are 3 reasons why people don't actively give a damn. And one is they really just don't care. 2, they don't know how self-serving their actions are. Or more importantly, 3, they know they have a problem but don't know how to change or fix it.
And those could all fall under one individual, to be honest with you. And so the whole philosophy behind the give a damn is just to continue to monitor yourself and to address those 3 areas in a way that once they become greater, have a greater awareness of where they're thinking, how they're thinking, you can make a change, and it takes time. Look, it took me many years to be able to do this. I think I had it ingrained in me. I wasn't really aware of it. I got some great training. I was brought up well. I was the lucky one. And I didn't, when I look at the years that I did business, if you told me 10 years ago I was going to write a book, I would have said, you're absolutely crazy. I was not a writer. I'm a business guy. But when I saw everything that was happening in the culture at business, even outside of business, it spurred me to be able to do this. And now I think my purpose is really to have this change in culture to help people live a better life, have a purpose, and to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy, and I have a way that can help them become a happier person, and that's the reason why I wrote the book.
Yes, because the conundrum is how to help people give a damn who don't give a damn. Like, they don't give a damn that they don't give a damn. If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so what you're saying is the benefit is that they themselves will be happier if they give a damn, if they care, that they will get all kinds of feedback, and I used the term positive contagion in last week's show.
Yep.
And so can you just, we have to close in a couple of minutes, but can you just speak more. How can you get people who don't give a damn to want to give a damn?
They have to have the ability and understanding that if they take this philosophy and adopt this theme, over time they'll see a marked change in their life, not only in what they do in terms of happiness, but the happiness that they bring to others. Now, there may be people out there that when you try to give a damn about them, that they don't give a damn back, and it could continue. You can't change, and you probably agree with this, it's very difficult to change a negative person to make them positive.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to teach our kids, and this is a transition over time. One person at a time, you take the initiative, you start being positive and caring about other people. You give them the book to read, let's say, and say, look, this has changed my life. I'm going to live longer. I mean, there's a lot of things we haven't even talked about that can help people live longer that are in the book that can do it. But it's the philosophy of, am I committed? Do I have the passion to make it work? Do I have the commitment to help other people? And by helping other people, it's going to come back to me much greater than you ever expected.
Yes.
Do it, and you'll be a terrifically happy person. I'm happy to help anybody along these lines. So if anybody wanted to send me an email to mlewis@giveadamnbook.com, and I can help them. If they're interested, I'm more than happy to send them a book. Just give them my email address. I got to get it out there, one person at a time, to 1 million people, 2 million people, and then I know I made a difference in lives of many hundreds of thousands of people, and that's what I want to do, because I want the society to be better. I don't think we're going down the right path.
Right, I agree. So tell us again your email.
It's mlewis, MLEWIS, at giveadamnbook.com. They can learn a lot more about my philosophy and what I'm trying to do by going to my website at giveadamnbook.com. They can order the book on Amazon if they want, but I'm here to help them out. And I answer emails. Every email comes to me, I'll answer.
Beautiful. So M. Lewis, LEWIS, at giveadamnbook.com, and to write to Mark, and he wants to get the message out, and it's such an incredible message. So it's Mark Lewis and Fred Rogers, right?
Right.
Fred Rogers was a miracle person, and so are you, Mark Lewis.
I appreciate
and
that.
I really,
you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Like, what you're doing here is going to make a difference, and I can't thank you enough. The relationships that people have with each other and improving those relationships leads to people's better lives, leads to a better society, and I can't thank you enough for taking the initiative and helping do this for the betterment of society.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Mark. So everyone, give a damn. It pays more than you can imagine. Beyond your wildest dreams, you'll feel part of a community, a worldwide community. And this is Dr. Duffy Spencer saying goodbye for now and wishing you great relationships.